Hey, welcome to this mini lecture on critical consciousness and introductory psychology, part 2 of topics for an introductory psychology course. Here are some topics. If you were thinking about doing critical consciousness in a course, either psychology or beyond, here's some examples for an introductory course dealing with psychology. It has 6 different topics: stress and health, identity development, personality, sensation and perception, social learning and conditioning, and research ethics. For stress and health, the authors in this article upon which this PowerPoint is based, they talk about stress and health. They have students write about their stressful life experiences to cope with early semester stress. They want them, the goal is to have students reflect on multiple identity factors as related to stress. This, by doing this addresses the reflection component of critical consciousness theory. Students reflect on the ways that multiple identities and membership in marginalized social groups relate to stress. Altogether, this teaches the research findings on stress as related to various ethnic groups, social status, gender, identities, religion, and socioeconomic status, so they're able to fold in stress and health into critical consciousness. They also talk about identity development. For example, they give an example of a discussion of identity versus role confusion stage of psychosocial development. Here, often students who identify as biracial or multiracial speak up about their experiences and coming to define who they are. Students of varying racial identities provide commentary that demonstrates critical reflection about this material. From this, again, they develop their critical consciousness. They also talk about personality. They engage students in a discussion of research that suggests a relationship between personality traits and one's sense of identity. One author poses the following questions to students, and this is at an HBCU, historically black college or university. What does it mean to be black? And do all black people embrace their ethnicity in the same way? After this, students are instructed to critique this multidimensional index of black identity by writing about what they agree or disagree with concerning its usage and why. This allows for exchange with one another in small groups and enhances the reflective consciousness development about the diversity of black identity. 4. Sensation and perception. The authors here link presentation of the sensation and perception chapters of their course to the discussion of dreaming, because students in our classes typically show great enthusiasm for learning about dreams. In an effort to be more inclusive of marginalized populations, students are required to read and discuss articles about the dreams of persons with various sensory deficits. So again, it makes them more critical of even something as seemingly superficial as dreams. Social learning and conditioning. Subsequent to learning the basic principles of classical conditioning, a student posed the following question: is it possible that someone can be classically conditioned to be aggressive towards a particular type of person? As a result of this question, one of the authors subsequently assigned a research article that is relevant to the student's question to help answer it. Finally, for research ethics, they talk about a research study by Kenneth and Mamie about the doll study. Here, the authors talk about black children during legal segregation were presented with a black and white doll and asked to choose which doll they preferred. The children's preference for the white doll and association of the white doll with more positive characteristics was an indication of the children's poor self-concept. Subsequent to that, after being confronted with this doll study, they're presented with a short documentary, Girl Like Me. A high school student replicates the Clark study along with female adolescent reflections on identity issues. This gives students an opportunity to develop critical consciousness about similarities and differences in African American identity issues from the 1940s to present day. So again, it helps with critical consciousness. The conclusion of the paper talks about this. Regardless of the ethnicity and gender of the students attending the HBCUs, the students have chosen to pursue their education in an environment that they expect will be diverse, relevant, and useful within the social context of their lives. We owe it to the students to make our pedagogy and curriculum complementary to these expectations and the need for graduates with enhanced critical consciousness. From all of this, these are just some things I want you to consider. Again, I never tell people what to do, just some things to consider. When you're teaching and you're interested in critical consciousness, or the idea of it, consider weaving socialist issues within your subject matter. As per bell hooks, critically discuss sexism, homophobia, racism, classism, and cultural respect. If you're going to do this too, remember your context. Remember who your students are. Not all of these issues will be easily done depending on your subject and your student body. Try to tailor it depending on your perceptions of who those people are, and always be respectful. And try to provoke reflection and action. We do much more reflection, especially in teacher training programs, and we're doing more of that in K-12, but the action part is often sorely lacking. That was Critical Consciousness and Introductory Psychology, Part 2, Topics for an Introductory Psychology course. Thanks for watching. Take care. Hope to see you again soon.